All right, guys, so we're going to try this new video app because my normal one is not working. So we're going to start the chapter on probability. So let's take a look at this example that we have right here. So we've got many high schools now have drug testing programs for athletes. The main goal is to check if they have drugs. If they're positive, they face serious consequences, including counseling, possibly suspension. Obviously, their parents are notified. Sometimes, however, the test will say that the athlete took a banned substance when they did not. And other times it will say that they are clean when they actually, again, are not. So down at the bottom there, we've got 16% of the high school athletes in a large school district have taken a banned substance. The drug test used by this district has a false positive rate of 5% and a false negative rate of 10%. If a randomly chosen athlete tests positive, what's the chance that the student actually took a banned substance? So let's take a look at this. So let's take a look, first of all, at what probability is. Okay? Probability really is just the fact that what's the likelihood of something happening. Okay? And so we're looking at what the likelihood of this randomly chosen athlete that they tested positive and the chance then that they actually took a banned substance. Okay. So in this case, let's look at what we've got going on here. So we've got the probability the athlete taking the test has taken a banned substance. Well, that's 16%. Okay, that was given to us here in the problem. Suppose that 16% of the high school athletes in a large school district have taken a banned substance. Okay, do you think our results will be exactly 16%? No, probably not. Okay, it's a little bit different all over. But what we do know with probability is that chance behavior in the short run is unpredictable. If I just have a couple of people, a very, very small sample, that behavior is not necessarily going to be 16%. Okay? But over the long run, I can start to see patterns. And so this 16% represents that long run pattern. Okay? Your false positive is going to be, it's a fake positive test. So they took the drug test. The test said they were taking drugs. They tested positive, but the actual answer was no. It was a false positive. The test was wrong in this sense. Okay? And so a false negative here, a false negative is going to be the same thing, but reversed, right? The test said they did not take any drugs, but they really did. So again, the test is wrong. So anytime you see that false in front, you need to think the test is wrong. Whether it's false and saying yes when it shouldn't, or it's saying no when it should not. It's a false negative. Okay. So if we're looking at probability, like we just mentioned, this is any outcome of a chance process. So a chance process is things like I'm flipping a coin, I'm rolling the dice, I reach into the bag and I pull out a certain kind of marble. Okay? I reach into the bag and I pull out my assigned lab group. Okay? I spin the spinner. These are chance behaviors. Okay? Your probability is always going to be a number between 0 and 1. And we will go back and forth and probably refer to that as percent sometimes. Okay? Your number that you get there, like 0.35 or 0.67, represents the proportion of times we're going to see that outcome over a long period of time. Remember, probability can be predicted over a long period of time. We can start to see a pattern. So like, for instance, let's say I said the probability of you flipping a coin and getting on heads, well, the probability would be 0.5 or 50%, right? And because there's only two options, I want heads, which is one of those options. And so my probability is 0.5, 50%, okay? And again, that's over a long series of repetitions. I could flip a coin 3 times to get 3 heads and not have gotten, or let's do an even number. I could flip a coin 6 times and get 4 heads 4 times instead of 3. So I don't get a perfect 50%. But if I flipped a coin 1,000,000 times, I'm going to get closer and closer to that 50%. Okay, that larger series of repetition, I get more likely to get, I get my pattern there. Okay, so you guys are going to refer to your note sheet real quick, and I'll put this link up in Google Classroom, and you can head to this applet, and it gives you a few particular things that you're going to want to try to kind of experiment with while we're kind of getting this idea of probability in our head. It should take you about 5 or 10 minutes, and when you're done, you'll head back over here and finish up.